Welcome to the Hyborian Keep. I'm Old Man Hyborian. Here we review tales of Robert E. Howard's greatest character, Conan the Barbarian. Today we will be reviewing Titan Books, Conan, Cult of the Obsidian Moon. This won't be some fluffy review. It'll be an old man's honest opinion. And just as a heads up, there will be spoilers. So I don't want you to go crying to your mummy if I say something that spoils it for you. If you don't want the spoilers, then go to the end of the video and watch the summary. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. With that, let's get after it.
Hard copy novel by Titan Books, author James Lovegrove. Dust jacket image is lame, zero effort was put into it. The actual hard copy book is purple in color, which I kind of like. And it has a pretty cool crescent moon on the front. Shows the other books available by Titan. First edition, November 2024. Has the Hyborian Age map. Before the story starts, we get a letter from one of Robert E. Howard's characters, James Allison, speaking about his reincarnated experiences as Hunwulf, one of the characters in this novel. I personally found it a little bit odd to start the book off. Right from the get-go, we have another author that doesn't know where he's at in the Hyborian Age. It says here, Argos, due east of Stygia, not far south. If you look at the map, Argos is west of Stygia, not east. So there you have another author that's lost in the Hyborian Age. The novel starts with Conan's failed attempt at a B&E. After that failed attempt, he goes into a tavern to brood over the loss of Belit, which is another theme that Titan has really dwelled on a little bit too long. Well, in the tavern, he meets up with Gudrun and Hunwulf, two characters from Robert E. Howard's story, Garden of Fear. If you haven't read that story, I would suggest that you read that story. It's a good short story, and it would be a good little piece to read for Cimmerian September. Conan interaction with these two characters felt a little bit off for me. I was always of the opinion that at the time of Gudrun and Hunwulf that it was more prehistoric. It was before Conan's time. Because there's references in the Garden of Fear mentions like flint axes and spears, and that they've never seen any stone buildings, only hide-covered homes with huts made of mud. It just gives a sense that it's an earlier time. That story had a saber-toothed tiger in it. And at the first of this novel, Conan fights a saber-toothed tiger in the very first chapter. So there was a little bit of a clever tie-in there. The backstory of Gudrun and Hunwulf was good, but that was mostly Howard's story. They have a son, Bjorn, who has special powers, and Conan befriends the family and offers to help with the men that are hunting them. There was something out of the past from Gudrun and Hunwulf. There was a murder in their village, and they're on the run, and there's a group of men that has been chasing them for years and trying to kill them. A few things I didn't like. I didn't care that Conan was tricked by Bjorn to train him. Conan is a seasoned warrior, and he wouldn't be so easily tricked by a boy to offer training. Also, there's a theme through the whole novel of Conan's more of a babysitter to Bjorn and another young boy that shows up later in the story. It seems like Conan is more that cool uncle that gave you the first taste of beer. It just felt odd. I also didn't care for the silly interaction with the sergeant when Conan was thrown in jail. He was being held, and Conan gets out of jail just because the sergeant was a nice guy, and Conan talked his way out of it. The guard actually called Conan a wrongdoer. Like, I'm sure that hurt his feelings. That was really lame. There was also the plot change that happened in chapter 11. I was invested in the storyline of the group that was hunting Gudrun and Hunwulf. There was some character development, and so I was just getting into that part of the story, but that it drastically changed with the arrival of a flying lizard. In the span of a few paragraphs, the whole story went in a total different direction. It was a bit off-putting. There was only one reference to the Battle of the Black Stone, and that was not so much a reference, but it was just a visual. It showed the symbol, so that was the only story arc tie-in to the Titans Battle of the Black Stone event. Another non-Conan act was when Conan was pretty much praying that Bjorn was still alive. Like, that is so not Conan. There was this one scene when a group of children killed several flying lizards. The lizards were holding the children captive, and during the battle the children didn't suffer any death or injury. However, back in chapter 10, there was one flying lizard that killed the entire group of seasoned warriors that were hunting Gudrun and Hunwulf. So that was kind of lame. What I did like about the novel was the scene setting from Lovegrove. He did a pretty good job setting the scene, and there were some decent fight scenes done throughout.
Well, there you have it. A mediocre novel from Titan Books. I didn't like the plot shift halfway through. I was just getting invested in the characters, and it took an abrupt turn. It was almost like Lovegrove was partway through the novel and decided to change the direction of the story. I didn't like that. There were parts I did enjoy, and I really tried hard to enjoy it all, but there was just too many non-Conan moments, like Conan the babysitter, and Conan praying, and Conan talking his way out of jail instead of fighting his way out of jail. Not much like a Robert E. Howard Conan. The casual reader may get some enjoyment out of it. If anybody was looking for any key tie-ins to the Blackstone event, you will be disappointed. I didn't see any tie-in to the Battle of the Black Stone. There may be just too many groaning moments for the Conan veteran fans to enjoy this book. And with that, I bid you farewell.